Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
The temperature in Houston, Texas today was 108. Anytime the temperature in your city is 18 points higher than the average IQ of your elected officials, it's unpleasant. And speaking of unpleasant and low IQ, well, here is Dave and Juan.
And 3.
Number 2.
I'm going to guess that's followed by 1.
Typically is, and then that's followed by woohoo,
Woohoo, ta-das, and all that other stuff. And the obligatory look America right in the eyes and say, hey, you're welcome. Absolutely, positively, totally. You're welcome.
You know, I was watching, not to hurry up and derail this thing before we introduce ourselves. I was watching Fox the other night. It might have been during the debate. And, you know, they were promoting the their primetime lineup.
All right.
And I wondered, you know, because they're all saying serious stuff. And then I said, what's Gutfeld going to say when he gets, when he gets to his slot? You know what he said? America, you're welcome.
Did he really?
Yes.
Man. Oh, by the way, okay, hang on now. But you know, did he have the byline? Oh, by the way,
nope.
Hi, how are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Thank you. Well, you know, I like Gutfeld, and I guess we'll I hope we didn't rip that. I don't think we ripped that off from him. I don't watch Gutfeld anymore. I haven't seen it in forever.
No, I couldn't tell you. I mean, I don't know. It's been.
Dude, I'm the I don't try to be, but I guess I am. I am the old man who has not watched any Fox since they dropped Tucker.
It's been a long time since I sat and watched it. I don't know. I don't invest time in annoying myself. Well, I guess I do, but I try to not.
We wait for us to do that. We do that about an hour a week. Yeah, let's get together.
But I watched the debate on and off the other night, and so that's how I happened to see that commercial.
I cannot believe you watched the debate. I mean, this is not even an exaggeration. If you'd have given me, here's the choice: you can sit here sipping a warm tap water out the sink. A glass of water and sort out your socks, or I'll give you a cold beer and let you watch the debate. Dude, I'd have been sorting socks. You could not have paid me to watch these clowns.
I can tell you.
I say these clowns. Not all of them are clowns.
No,
but a lot of them are. Yeah.
Assuming that Trump won't be in any of the debates, there only needs to be 3 people. Trump would be 4. But what were there, like 8? 5 of them had no place, or however many there were. It ought to be DeSantis, guy who I like but can't say his name.
Ramaswamy, whatever. Yeah.
And what's her name from South Carolina?
Nikki Haley.
Yeah.
Maybe. Tim Scott. You got to put Tim Scott in there because everybody likes him.
Yeah, I like him, but he didn't do well.
He's running for VP. They all are. Oh, here we are. Yeah. We're falling into. I joked about this. I got an old friend, and shout out to Dave if he's out there. Another Dave, really good guy. He's a Canadian. Don't hold that against him. But good guy. We spent a lot of time together way back in the day, working out of Florida for some things in banking, and just good dude. Like him a lot, and don't keep in touch that much, but we're aware of each other. And apparently he reached out after. I guess he's watching these podcasts, which is scary. I appreciate everybody that kind of reaches out and sometimes sees and asks questions and stuff about the podcast, but I just assume y'all don't tell me because I prefer.
It's easier if it's just us.
Man, no lie. It's just like one of the stuff that I write, like actually, for a living kind of stuff. It's a lot easier when you don't think anybody reads it. Yeah. I mean, you want them to, but anyway, so, He had kind of reached out, all excited that we apparently, I guess we stuck our toe a little deeper into the political pond.
But we grazed on it. I don't think we ever delved deeply.
Oh, but he was happy about it, man. All excited, hoping we talk more politics. And here's the deal, y'all. The most consistent political message you're going to hear from me, and Juan sort of concurs, but he'll tell you if he does or not. The most consistent message you're going to hear from me is, I hate them all.
Yeah.
Okay. Hate's a strong word. I mean, I shouldn't maybe use hate. I hate a lot of them. I hate a lot of them. And the ones I don't hate, I just don't really like. I think the whole thing's messed up. And again, I'll say it again. If you gave most of America the option of everybody, every single one, whether you've been there a minute and a half or as long as with Feinstein. But the thing about Feinstein is I don't think she knows she's there anymore.
Nah, she thinks she left like 40 years ago.
You know, like yeah. So, for like right now, if you ask California, who would you rather representing you, Feinstein or Bob Barker? Most of them are going to go Bob Barker. Even the ones that know he passed away last week, right? So that's my point. So we kind of, everybody's got their sides.
Well, just on the debate, there were, Mike Pence, who I realized during the thing, and you're probably not old enough to remember, but when I was a little kid,
I know exactly where you're going. Exactly where you're going.
I'm sitting there saying that dude looks like he looks like that dude on Johnny Quest.
Johnny Quest.
And I couldn't remember his name, so I looked it up. And sure enough, Race Banning looks exactly like him.
Yeah, he looks like Race Banning with zero of the charisma.
Right.
Less than zero of
but
that.
In the debate, the dude showed more emotion in every answer than he did in the entire 4 years he was vice president. Suddenly he was calling everything the Trump Pence tax cut.
Oh man, don't even. Oh God, well,
when how do you say Vivek?
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Who could have also been with Johnny Quest.
Oh come on. You're right.
Well, like he was saying stuff about, which I agree with. It's not a great time in America. It's, things are, a lot of hatred, a lot of dark times, a lot of, just divisiveness. And Pence, stood up, which I'm sure was a scripted line. I am not going to let you disparage America.
I hate, again, so I'll let you figure out what the hate part comes in. Yeah, that's just, stop it, y'all. But anyway, so it's all a clown show anyway. It doesn't matter. They're not even going to have that on the other side, No. So RFK Jr. is going to be sitting out there with 30 something percent going.
RFK, hey. And who's the
what about me?
The professor.
Cornel West?
Yeah.
Is that him? I didn't know. I didn't actually. I guess I wasn't following. I read something during the week that said, "So whatever. Let's get this done, y'all. Let's get it and have at it." And by the way, so even though we said, well, I guess I dipped my toe into the pond again, even though we said we weren't going to get into it. But that's the so be it. Hey, two things can be right. Like it's not either or.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, it exploded last week when that mugshot happened, right? And I swear it was the craziest thing. 9/11 didn't get the coverage that that the Trump mugshot got, and whatever. It's you can see it both ways, and he does that pose he does, and hey, but so and I can and you can say, you know what? I think it's a low point in history. I don't think for the reason some people want to argue, right? Some people want to argue it's a low point because, oh, look at this. And other people want to argue, well, it's the end of it's the end of freedom. Yeah, whatever. Not freedom, but it's the end of the political system, the way they're doing it. So that can be true, that's a travesty. But the other thing can also be true. I'm tired of getting, I got a text today. We just want to make sure you saw the mugshot and blah, 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 trying to raise money. Right. And it's
like, selling shirts. He was selling shirts that night.
Yeah, I read something a while ago. They raised $7 million.
I think he purposely went later in the day so he could make sure he got on TV.
Oh, man, whatever. But
not that it wasn't going to get on TV. But
yeah, so there's
here's my question. Let's say, and I know it's not going to happen, but let's say he went to jail. Would the Secret Service go with him?
Fair question. I don't know. I don't. Man, I don't know. Well, okay, so we may circle back to this. I'm already all right, politics, and we should be talking about the weather because that's what we normally do, bruh. It's Sunday, like I said before, all the time. You guys don't care what day it is, but I do. That's when we're doing this. Just looked at my phone coming in because I was going to tell you about how like so. Right now it's 102. We're doing this at and it's early afternoon. It's 102 degrees outside my house right now, but the app is telling me today it's going to get to 109. Not heat index of 109, 109. So
I think it was 103 here earlier. Is the
child's play. Child's play. I wear
I left church at about 12:45, and I worked at church today, so my car had been sitting out there since 7 this morning, so it had been there for a while. And the thermometer in your car when it's baking is never accurate,
right?
But it said 119.
Nice. Well, coming off absolutely. Coming off the concrete's crazy. But
now there are high school athletic rules in Louisiana. Even if you're a swimmer and your pool is outside, you can't practice. They had a couple days this week that they couldn't practice.
If you're a swimmer, well,
the pool gets hot, so.
It actually does, right? I mean, the pool, the pool, the side of the pool gets extremely hot. Yeah. Okay. But then, no, even the water, like if you're swimming in water that's upper 90s,
yeah.
I mean, you can get heat exhaustion in that, but it is what it is, y'all. I mean, and in a couple of weeks, we're just going to talk about, oh man, remember how hot it was? And, look, it's not, and you never thought this time of year that people, especially around here, would be, man, we could use a good tropical storm. We could use a good, hang on now.
August 29th is the day. So,
what's that?
I don't know. I've seen umpteen posts that it was, the day Katrina hit, that there's like 4 or 5 storms in history that have hit on August 29th.
It kind of happens, y'all. I mean, that's this week. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen.
I think Florida might get one, so I might cruise to the beach or something just to get me some rain.
Well, so there you go. Let's hope it let's hope it moderates soon. I don't even know what to say anymore.
So talking about rain and storms. So the company I work for bought a massive generator I guess early this year to run a warehouse. We're a food distribution company, so massive warehouse. But so just in case, get storms and stuff. So I don't know why, or this guy who was in charge of the connecting it, I don't know why that was his role, but so they went last Saturday just to make sure everything, would trip on if it needed to, because it's getting to that time of year. So the guy's like bragging on Facebook, they work all day today, making sure blah, 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 blah. Thursday afternoon, we had a pop-up thunderstorm, knocked the electricity out, didn't kick on. So
karma, bro.
Yeah.
Karma.
Yeah. So I went and I found his Facebook post from last week when he was commenting on that. I said, hey man, thanks for coming out last Saturday, making sure it worked.
You really did that?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. He commented back instantly. Piss off, Juan.
Oh, man, there you go. Yeah. He's an employee of the place.
Yeah. It wasn't his fault, but still.
Well,
I wanted to respond. Hey, dude, you commented less than 1 minute after I posted. Why are you on Facebook when I got no power up here?
Don't you know? I'm in management. I have time to be on social media. What are you doing on this thing? We're talking about social media. I mentioned this before to you before we went on, and it's times we're living in. Every now and then, I guess I follow the sheriff's department on Facebook, or maybe I don't. Maybe I see stuff that people share, but every now and then there'll be like a wanted fugitive, right? They'll post something, and it's just like so funny, like, hey, Facebook fan, like it's like when they're trying to find what's the best place to get a snowball on a Thursday. Go. I hate that. By the way, I hate that. Yeah. I hate those posts where people state what they want and then say go. Like, oh, it's a competition to serve you.
Yeah. I will respond, a snowball stand.
Snowball stand. Well, whatever. But that's almost like it was. Hey, citizens, we got to try to find this fugitive. Go.
Because that's what we want to find it.
But apparently they got, and I saw when they put the wanted thing out, and I didn't follow the story. I don't know the person that's involved. I may be guilty as all get out. Maybe I don't. So my conveying of the story is in no way an endorsement or whatever. But I got not a chuckle, but it's a little weird. So apparently they had this all points bulletin they put out on Facebook of all things. Hey, looking for this dude. And I guess that day or the next day, I guess they caught him. And there's a picture of him. I'm not even going to post it online because I don't want to. Of the guy they caught behind the cop car, like he's handcuffed in the car, no shirt on, right? And it just I think the caption was something like "got him," like
book him, Dano.
And I forget what it was. And it just kind of struck me as odd. Like, so
did they not play the theme from Cops? Man, what you gonna do?
I should have put it on. No, they probably put on some accordion music.
Apparently, the police department down there, the sheriff's office has a social media expert traveling with them.
I don't know what the story was. I just found it a little odd, or maybe not even odd, just a sign of the times. Just kind of different that we're celebrating. I think they even put something about, I guess the guy was, I don't know, ran away through some cane fields and jumped in the bayou or something.
Yeah, they got some shortcuts on him.
I got to be honest. I don't know in all the decades that I have been, cognizant of things on the bayou. Have you ever heard a story where somebody jumped in the bayou and got away? You know what I'm saying? Like, this happened before.
It's not like there's not a bridge goes by that.
Well, or it's like, man, you kind of like you're really limiting your ability to navigate there, bro. Unless I guess
where you gonna go once you get on the other side anyway? I don't know.
But I'm just
you're either gonna run down Highway 1 or Highway 308.
I am not giving advice to anybody out there that is trying to avoid arrest or avoid whatever you're trying to avoid. But for the most part, jumping in Bayou Lafourche is not an escape route. Just don't think that's going to work out for you. But
talking about Bayou Lafourche, we went grabbed my dad last night. They went to dinner, and we went in Donaldsonville, so we went up Highway 1, which we don't typically go. And I was entertaining my wife and daughter by showing her where all my high school friends used to live.
It's very entertaining to them.
That's what look, that's where Tommy lived. I wonder where he's at now. And they didn't find it entertaining at all.
Not nearly. I'm the same way.
Yeah. So I kept doing it. And then when we were crossing over the bayou in Donaldsonville, I said, Riley, my daughter, I said, look, see that? That's the beginning of the longest bayou in the world right there. Check it out. Didn't even look up.
So where were you when you said this?
Donaldsonville.
Is that the beginning of?
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what it's. Yeah, that's what it is.
You would think I would know that. I guess maybe I did and didn't. So the longest bayou in the world is Bayou Lafourche?
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
As far as I know, it's my story. I'm sticking to it.
I was about to say, are you sure? Or is that just you know what? I've told this story long enough that
I'm sticking to it, man.
Well, I'll tell you reminded me a couple of years ago when I was in Minnesota. And I got up there driving around and like, man, and I don't know that I technically was at the beginning of the Mississippi River, but I was definitely at a part of the Mississippi River that you could walk across.
Yeah.
I was like, man, just like they told us back in school.
Without fear of the current.
Just like they told us back in school. This was funny. So last night, my sister-in-law, my wife's sister and brother-in-law and their daughters went. So asked us out to dinner. So my birthday, so sort of a belated birthday dinner, which was fun. Went to a place, good old, I'll give a shout out to it. It's Clancy's. They don't call it tavern. It's Clancy's old. Anyway. It's sure tell you the kind of place it is. I had shepherd's pie. That's what I had last night. But it's cool, nice thing. So anyway, so they brought me presents, which is funny. So I start. So my it tells you that and it's really my brother-in-law, and because my sister-in-law said, oh yeah, he loves buying stuff for like for you and that crew, because that's up his alley. So I start opening these things. Now I think one's a shirt, a long sleeve T-shirt, which is cool. I like. Okay. And I guess he wants me to redecorate everything in the office. So like one is, here's a frame Thomas Jefferson quote. Okay.
All right.
When the people fear the government, there is tyranny. When the government fears the people, there is liberty. All right. I'm like, oh, that's kind of, that
looked like anything he got at Hobby Lobby right there, man.
He did get this stuff at Hobby Lobby, I think. He said, if we ever forget that we're one nation under God, then we will be a nation gone under. Ronald Reagan. Okay. All right. So you think like, man, that's two. That's two, right? Like, wow, that's
yeah, that's impressive.
All right. This huge thing, the national anthem. Okay, so now I got the national anthem, framed national anthem. I don't know if I'm trying to find a place to put this back here. I'm thinking, dang, dude.
He was on the patriotic aisle.
Then he gave me the one that I think is going to get me on an FBI list. The Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
From you need to go hang that on the outside part of your front door.
You know what? That's exactly where that's a great point. I got to see if I can weatherproof this, and we'll put this on the back patio. But yeah, by the time I got to this one, I'm just like, bro, I'm on a list right now. Like they, if you got these at Hobby Lobby, they're probably monitoring.
Yeah. If you're not on the list, he is.
And now I am. Right. Yeah. So, ain't that a pain in the butt that these days, like if you literally quote or profess to believe in something that is written in law, the founding papers, right? If you're the wacko, stop being such an extremist. You believe
exactly,
that stuff?
and a couple other words that end in ist.
Well, but so yeah, because I don't have very much room on the wall. I mean, I'm up in my office, and I mean the walls are just covered with stuff. But I might make some.
Talk about patriotic stuff in the land of the free and the home of the brave. And I heard there's a guy in San Francisco.
Enough said.
Who is making money off of giving tours to the homeless areas and open market or open drug areas at $30 a pop, and they're all sold out.
You know what?
Only requirement is you got to wear closed-toe shoes.
Oh, you got to be kidding me, man! Jeez. Well, there you go. That will tell you something. That will tell you something, y'all. Where we are in this world today, or in this country today, that one of the sightseeing.
Forget the celebrity houses.
Man, we used to go to San Francisco to go check out Alcatraz and Pier. What's it, Pier 39 or whichever one the piers are? Yeah. Now it's like,
ride the streetcar.
Now it's put on some closed-toed shoes and
walk amongst the drug users.
Let's go. Yes, there you go. Avoid the fecal matter.
Bring an extra pair of shoes in case you step in something.
Man. Well, I guess we're all kind of going down that same that same line. Yeah. So about 6 months ago, give or take, when Elon Musk acquired Twitter, which is now X, whatever whatever they're doing with that. He was both cheered by some and caught a lot of grief when he said one, he fired a bunch of people, which but then he said, hey, yeah, we need y'all back in the office. Like this crap ain't working. I know we all playing this game. So like you and I, we do this once a week. This is the 120th episode, but this is about what it's good for, Juan. You know what I'm saying? We ain't running no business. We ain't managing no team. We're not leading individuals doing this stuff, right? So he caught all kinds of grief. Well, and only recent weeks, Here's some really low tech companies like Meta, which is Facebook, Amazon, may have heard of them, and Zoom, which is what we're doing this on right now. All these companies have
Zoom, the company that made their mark on remote work,
are now making their employees get on back to the office because this crap ain't working. And they can say all they want. Oh, and it's just so funny too. Everybody wants to find the unicorn of the person that, well, as soon as I went totally remote, I all my productivity is up and blah blah blah.
Yeah, here's why I want to work remote, and I've worked remote. You work for, I liked it. I worked for myself. I guess it wasn't really remote,
right?
Because I could do what the crap I wanted when I wanted. Wasn't anybody sitting there watching me, which is exactly what I'd do if I was working remote.
Here's the deal:
I'd knock out 3 or 4 things. I'd take a 2-hour break.
If you are working for yourself, okay. Now, even working for yourself doesn't mean like if you have a bunch of employees, you can own the company, but you know flat out well, if you own the company, you can't just go fishing anytime you want. You know, even when you have managers that you trust, you kind of trust them, but you don't really. Even when you leave the company or you have your family, your sons and daughters running things, you raise those couillons, you know. You know, they're not exactly, they don't think like you. So if you're a solo person or a very small operation, sure, because everywhere you go is the office. Okay. If you don't have, right, you just, that's what it is. And I get it. People, the frustrating thing to anybody, I know you probably run into it, and right. It's you gotta, all the times you have to be there when you really don't need to be there. All right. Like it's or the meetings that could have been an email. That's the big one, right? But the flip side of that is where we are today. You kind of need to be in the same room with people to truly communicate.
Yeah. Trust me. There's not a lot of people in many workplaces. Let me flip that. There are a lot of people in a lot of workplaces who I wouldn't, I'm surprised they make it to work on their own, let alone would be productive in the day on their own.
I have, and I'm not going to give the names for obvious reasons, but a friend who is also the president, CEO of a bank, and good guy. I used to work with him many years ago. And he made a comment to me because he has a situation where he has a lot of remote, a lot of hybrid. He has some folks that come into the main office, most of them. That's really what he wants to push. But he has some others who could make it in, but for whatever reason, they do the hybrid stuff. You got to come in some. And he made a joke to me about, and we have this, these set meetings on whatever time, like, whether it's Zoom or whatever, this is the time. And apparently these people must have tripped on the dog coming from the dining room to the to the living room, because they're the ones who are never on time. Right. And he talks about that. He says the people that have to actually get in their cars and drive in, fight a little traffic, get to the office, they're at the meeting on time. The people that literally can just get up, get a cup of coffee, sit down, and in about 30 seconds, those, right? But it's human. I guess it's human nature. But that's I think about that. How many yawns you've had that have worked for you in the past that, man, you can't communicate with them when you're looking them in the eye. Like when when you're standing right there trying, like, you almost feel like Chris Tucker in the movie, right? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Right? No. So let me communicate with this person on camera.
Yeah, I've talked about one of my former employees before who, this was last winter when, it was a threat of a freeze, and she called me to, how would she know if the roads were frozen?
Check.
Yeah, I don't know. Look out the window.
I mean,
if you drive down the road and your car goes to an uncontrollable slide.
And I guess and part of it's like generational thing too. So, like my younger son, I earlier today I wanted to talk to him about something, and I'm like having a hard, so I FaceTime with him. He'll do it FaceTime. He'll get on FaceTime with you, but then have it pointed somewhere else. Like you can barely see part of his ear or whatever. I'm like, no. I want to see your face. He's like, you know what I look like? I said, yeah, I know what you look like. I just want to see. I can tell a lot more about how you're communicating by your facial expressions. or lack of facial expression.
Yeah, really, or the fact that you're not paying attention.
100%. He's playing a game. I was talking to him today, and I'm like, and I said, dude, what are you doing? Oh, nothing. Talking to you. No, what are you doing? Oh, playing Y2K. Great.
Yeah.
Great. All right.
So I had never used Facebook Live before until Friday night.
Yeah, you were excited, man. You were like, I
like that, man.
I was happy for you. I was excited for you. I was like, man, Juan, I've never seen Juan this upbeat and happy about anything, man.
I know, man. That's my Christian music concert.
Man,
dude.
you were like pumped.
Well, so I was he was singing my favorite song, and I was going Facebook Live, and then I turned the camera on, and it was pointed at me.
Let me let all of y'all see me enjoying this.
Yeah, and I didn't know what to do, so Riley reached over and fixed it for me. So, but I sent you a video. The guy who opened up was like some Christian rap guy.
I saw a little bit of that. I'm like,
I had no clue. So, and the odd thing is, most of the people at this concert were, of our, skin tone. But the guy did like some fake prayer. Let me see. I even wrote it down.
Now for those of you that aren't watching on video, I love our skin tone. What would that be? Juan? Olive?
I don't know. I'm a little, kind of.
You're named Juan.
Yeah, I'm a Cajun.
You're the whitest Juan anybody's ever met.
Well,
you might be the only white Juan anybody's ever met.
Well, he played some song, and my daughter knew this. It was called Church Clap, and there's apparently a dance that. Yeah.
Church clap. Okay.
And there's a dance that goes with it. Then for one of the songs, though, before he started, he did a little thing and asked God to help the people there break free from the chains of a rhythmic challenge.
Break free from he was talking right at you when he said that.
Yeah, that's right, man.
He was talking right at you. Well, apparently, according to you, the entire group you were with.
Well, the funny part, though, as we're leaving, you sitting down in the arena for 3 hours. Yeah. Like,
that don't sound like fun, but I get you. Yeah.
So then, like my knees are stiff and everything. Well, as I'm walking out, there's a guy right on the side of me coming out from the aisle across me. And he said, "It's tough getting old, isn't it?"
They're getting old.
And he said, "Look," he said, "I see you limping just like me."
You want to see my dad? He rips out plants posts and jumps out of trucks in his late 80s, man. Get out of here. So where was the concert at?
UNO Lakefront Arena.
UNO Lakefront Arena. So big Christian. Tell me something. What were the beer sales like?
It was through the roof, bro.
Really? No. Did they even sell beer?
I didn't look. I doubt it.
I can't see how they wouldn't, though, man, because they make honest. Now, I'm not endorsing this, guys. Well, I guess I am endorsing it. Yeah. But I went, look, with these arenas, that's how they make money and pay people, because they didn't, trust me, the cost of your ticket didn't cover what it takes to keep that place open, man. That's concessions and highest meal. I thought you were.
No, I didn't know. I didn't think about it.
I'm
pretty sure they did.
You telling me the Bud Lights were not flowing?
Not flowing at the Brandon Lake Phil Wickham.
There you go.
Summer worship tour.
We talked earlier about the crime thing. Again, it kind of triggered me because again at dinner last night, one of my nieces was there, and she just graduated, and she's becoming a teacher. And I guess she went to around here at Sam Houston University. It's up a place called Huntsville, and Huntsville's now the thing is, anybody who knows, but if you don't know Sam Houston, it's a nice university, very nice university. Huntsville is also where the maximum security penitentiary is, right? And I've never been. I keep joking about it because we're never just bopping around. It's
always jail for some of you people. Prison.
Yes. Prison, jail, lockup, all right, whatever.
Angola.
Maximum, that's okay. But you got to love Texas. And I have not been to it yet, but there's signs for it, and I can see it from the road when you're driving up there. There's a Texas prison museum.
Nice.
I'll bet you that thing is pretty pretty interesting. But I've never.
They
Like I
ought
said,
to
I've
bring
never.
some of the high school kids there instead of like the planetarium. That'd be a
I
good
don't.
field trip.
But the point I was going to make is that so my niece was saying, because she's worked at grocery stores and stuff before, as have my sons, and we're talking about jobs, and I forget why we're talking about certain things, and I think my wife and her sister were talking about one of the stores, one of the local Kroger's. Not far from our house now. There's a security guard there all the time now, and it's sort of like the canary in the coal mine. Those who don't know the canary in the coal mine scenario, it's back in the old days. Miners when they go into the caves, they bring a bird cage with canaries in there with them, and because the birds are much more susceptible to the kind of gases and lack of oxygen and kind of stuff that could be deadly, and so the miners knew that if you saw the canary. If the canary was in trouble, or that canary dropped, get the hell out of the mine because it's coming. Well, canary in the coal mine are some of these things you see, and it's yes, a full-time security guard at these stores, which by the way apparently do nothing from what you see on videos. Apparently, the safest thing to be at any of these stores is the security guard, because apparently your job is to hold the door open as thieves do what they're gonna do. The other thing is self-checkout lanes, right? And I remember talking about this a while back, and somebody I don't know if they accused me of being profiling or whatever I was doing, but I was basically saying I knew for a fact that you could tell a lot about. I'm not going to give the okay. I know Walmart did it for a while, and I don't know what the policy was, but you could always tell what Walmart thought of the chance of crime in an area by whether or not there were self-checkout lanes. Okay. Like that was always my thing here in Sugar Land. Like, man, we must be doing okay. We got a lot of self-checkout here. So I made you feel good about the community, right? You go to other stores, bruh, the last thing they're going to do is give the thieves.
Yeah. And they're surely not going to put it by the door.
Man, no way. Well, that's the thing with, and it could be different by now, and God love them, because it was the place of my birth, but the Galliana Walmart, to my knowledge, has never had self-checkout. Okay. Has never had self-checkout. Rampant theft. Don't get me wrong. Rampant theft. Lots of people, right? Lots of people using the air quotes here, checking out. But yeah, that's, so anyway, she was up in, Huntsville, and so she had to run into the Walmart. She wanted to get a something. It might have been mascara, something quick, something simple, whatever. And come to find out now, that store doesn't even carry cosmetics.
Too
much theft. Too much theft. She said she went in there and she wanted something. I forget, and she said what it was, and she couldn't find it. So she asked one of the employees there or whatever, and they ran whatever the little scope, the thing they have to check on inventory to see if they got them. And it said, yep, it shows we have 40. They were all stolen. All right. And guys, I mean, this can't keep up. We can't, we're the old guys that get up and complain about this. It has to stop, y'all. We can't
I know for
function
a fact,
like this.
just from the business I'm in now. Convenience stores carry less and less they call home and beauty products, which would be like, aspirin and toothpaste or little makeup kits. And the ones that do, they tend to be located more where the cashier can see them, because it's such a high theft item, because you can just stick it in your pocket.
But you know why? Yeah, but you know why it's also high theft? Because nobody's afraid anymore of getting caught.
No.
Right? Nobody's afraid, because even if they get what are they doing? Even if the worst case scenario seems to be somebody gets in your way and says, "Come on, put it back," and then if you choose not to, you probably can get away with it.
Right. The worst thing that will happen to you is they make you put it back. The
worst thing. Usually they just let you go. Usually, apparently these days, not like in the old days. I told you before.
Wrestled you down in the parking lot.
I told you before, bro. I worked at Frank's IGA, man. Frank's IGA and Cutter, dude. I don't know that you'd have got shot, but you'd have had a hard time getting to your car. Let's just say that. Not only that, back in the day, not only would not, like, if it wouldn't have been enough employees to stop you, hell, a customer would have jumped in.
Right.
A customer would have jumped in, man. And even if a customer wasn't there to jump in, we know where you live, bro. We coming. Go. Go. We gonna come find you. You ain't stealing, but you say we gotta, guys, we gotta go back. Now, the one place, and I'm not encouraging this, by the way, but I would feel almost justified for shoplifting something, is college books. I had forgotten, and I just hadn't given any thought. Maybe I should. So apparently my son, the one that's still in college, now back in college, I don't know what his story is. He doesn't even talk about books. Like, he don't need books. I have no idea. He could be.
My son would typically wait like 2 or 3 weeks to decide if he really needed a book or not.
Really needed a book. Well, same with mine. It's this. So it's
online. I think, yeah.
I think so, but not all of them are. So
my
mom was sharing this with me. My nephew has a freaking book he needs for, it might be real estate or whatever the class is, to rent the book for a semester, which is what, 3 months? Is $135.
Oh Lord.
To buy it's like $180. Y'all, I look.
And if he trades it in, or if I don't even know if you can trade books anymore,
man,
it'd be like 15.
A pox on, and like, I'm not even dogging universities, but look, that's another thing. Stop it. That is theft. It's beyond stupid. It's beyond stupid. What books out there, man? Can you think of any book, like, besides like a massive leather decor, like a book that might be furniture, maybe like a picture book of classic American blah 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 that you'd put on, and even though they make those anymore, who in the hell buys a $180 book for anything, right? And that's just, and like I said, that is just, well, that's where
I've always said, we don't have a student loan crisis. We have a college tuition and college cost crisis.
Yeah, it's annoying. And like I said, we played the game. We've all done that. I remember back in our day, man, that book's $50. I remember that. I remember my first $50.
And that was one you'd keep because that was like a major book or something, like a big accounting book.
And we never went back and checked any of those damn things. I'm the same way. I probably, and you will never throw them away. You keep them as decorations. I'll bet you somewhere in a closet over here, I'll bet you I'll still have one or two. I bet you I still got that advanced accounting book.
I think I have consumer marketing principles somewhere.
You don't reference it every now and then, Juan? You don't?
I usually do. Social media trends.
So it's just, like I said, when I got re-annoyed by that. Like, stop that, colleges. What's the?
Yeah, that's insane.
How much more?
So what do they sell in a bookstore at a college, though? I mean, I guess they still sell a lot of books, or?
Well, I mean, the stuff they make you. Yeah. Right. I mean, it's what are you going to do? You take a class, and then if the professor says you got to get this book. Remember back in our day, if the idiot professor you were ever with, and I shouldn't say idiot, only 75% of them were idiots. Some of them were cool. But what I'm saying, the ones that they had their own book, like, oh, they were the author. Yeah, we really need that book, huh? Yeah. You require. My thing was always, why do I have to get a book if you're the guy here? Wait a minute. You're the guy teaching the damn class. So are you telling me that there's going to be something that I need this book for? The
guy that he was the dean of the business department for a while. He had several marketing textbooks that we used. And I don't think you could trade them in. So that meant you couldn't get a used one.
Man,
that's probably part of his contract, I'm sure.
They've been scamming. They've been doing it the whole time. And I'll promise you that I'll bet you there wasn't 10% difference in any of the versions of that book.
No.
That was the other thing too. It's updated. Updated my butt. They might have changed the chapters, like the order they come in. They don't update. We live in a world now that everything's updated in real freaking time.
By the time it's updated on a printed book, it's outdated.
So yeah, that's just wrong. And it's different while we're complaining about the price of stuff, because there's something I meant to mention a couple of weeks ago when I read the column. I forgot about it, but then literally this morning I'm poking around, and our old friend Don, we've referenced Don Goodrum,
Don Graham
a few times. Don Graham,
Don Goodrum.
Sometimes I forget, like, okay, Goodrum was the real name. Graham was the.
Graham's a radio name.
He must have told me that one time. I don't know why. That's not that much difference of a name. I don't know why.
Because he used to go, like, he went by Graham on the radio.
No, I guess. I guess. Dude, I barely remember what I was on the radio. But anyhow, so Facebook friends, I'm sure you are as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he posted a complaint. I don't blame him. I guess he has a Jeep. I guess he drives a Jeep. Maybe he's like you, bro. He's a Jeep. He's a Jeep.
Throw out the Jeep wave.
yeah. Go get ducked. That was the thing. But he posted. So he had to, I guess, had to change the battery. And he said, I remember when it cost like $40, $50 to change a battery. Apparently, the battery on his Jeep cost him $334.
I better have a good one on mine.
$334 for a freaking car battery, and it was a few comments that people made on his post that got me reminding me about the electric vehicles.
Yeah, I guess in that scheme of things, it's fairly reasonable.
Well, then somebody put a post on there about having a hybrid, and then something happened, and they ended up just getting rid of the car because the hybrid battery is insane. But the thing I was reading about these electric vehicles, some of the things they don't like to talk about is that insurance companies will basically total them for almost nothing because they don't know how much damage the battery.
Right. If they end up having to replace the battery, and it's that deal, take it from somebody who's been in a number of accidents. They give you a quote, but then when they start fixing it, there's a line called discovered damage when you take it apart. So I had never thought about that with the electric vehicle. You're not going to see the battery damage.
Not only do you know there's a point coming where this battery, and it's like a battery. It's a battery, guys. They don't last forever. They get weaker and weaker. And then the things came out like, oh yeah, not only do you lose charge when it gets really cold, you lose charge when it gets really hot. So wonderful. Yeah. So if you live in a perfect weather place and you don't plan on going more than a couple of 100 miles anytime, and we'll follow that.
Ride around with your iPhone on your dashboard, see what happens to the battery.
Correct. So they that's one of the things they were pointing out that hey, and by the way, guys, when you get into a wreck or whatever, you know what you don't want them to do? "Quote unquote total your car." All right. I remember back people saying, "Oh man, maybe they'll total it." No. Now I guess if you got total replacement insurance, which almost nobody has, but nobody has. So when they total your car, you end up getting screwed. You end up getting paid, minus you get right. And so many of these cars get totaled now because the insurance companies are just saying, we can't, we don't even know how bad the battery is, and it's almost impossible to tell.
Yeah, if you're in a regular car, if your airbags
it's too expensive.
It's just because it's too expensive to fix. It's not because your car is necessarily unrepairable.
But the kicker was saying that, and they did point out about how, these things have a tendency every now and then to catch fire out of the blue when you're not even, and apparently when you can get into just a little fender bender or the kind of small mishap that you would not otherwise worry about, that really increases the odds that that car will combust. And they're talking about that to the point that even some tow truck drivers are hesitant to load an electric vehicle that's been damaged in an accident onto their truck to pull it out of there.
I know we've talked about this before. They say it takes, an average of 75 gallons to put out for a fire department to put out a fire
it might
on
be
a car.
More, yeah.
And it was closer to 1,000 gallons.
Exponential.
Put one out
exponential
on a Tesla or an electric vehicle.
And they can go out and come back again.
Right.
Yeah.
They'll keep,
And that was the other thing they said too, that if you get into any kind of if you're driving your electric vehicle and you, I don't know, hit a curb, the kind of things you can do regularly, and you sort of in a car, you get some damage, you might scrape some things up, you might be, oh, dang it, wish I wouldn't have done that. They say, don't park it near your house. Now think about that. Think about the caution of, if you get into a fender bender or any kind of mishap, or maybe you just really bottomed out really bad coming out of whatever. Yeah, you might not want to park it. Definitely don't park it in your
bottom is the battery.
Definitely don't park it in your garage, right? And they're saying, yeah, you might not want to park it right up close to leave it in the street.
And now watch, you talking about that. Watch before long when you're gonna get, try to price new homeowners insurance. Do you have a trampoline in your yard? Do you have an electric vehicle in your garage? Oh, we can't do that.
Why not? That's a legitimate.
Yeah.
Now now here's the deal. Here's what's funny. The government will never let insurance companies do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's when the heavy hand. I'll pull out one of my All-American framed. Right. Talk about tyranny and freedom over here again. Yeah, and here's my thing, y'all, and I only push back on that is, like I said, I think they're very cool vehicles, and if you can afford it, and it's if you can afford that for a nice second, right, and next, if you can afford if you can afford to have a car you just have for fun that you don't really rely,
cruise around town.
Maybe you might go to work in and everything, but you know what? If it breaks or something happens, you got a backup, or like I said, pay attention to evacuation orders. What won't you see a lot of? You ain't seen anybody jumping in the electric vehicles to evacuate that, and you definitely don't want to be behind one stuck in a line.
No, boy.
Or don't get up too close for a bunch of reasons.
Or drive down a road in New Orleans where the potholes are horrendous.
Well, we're saying, y'all, and the only reason I say this is because it so gets pushed on us about how, right, you got to do this, we're incenting, we're paying, and okay, whatever. You see where this was in the Reveille. That's what they call the LSU paper, right? The Reveille. There's 1 million wild hogs that roam Louisiana. LSU just patented a bait to kill them.
Nice,
huh?
Those things are mean, Lisa.
Well, there's a lot. 1 million is a lot. There's a lot of them, and it's like anything. They reproduce like crazy. They're very, very, very into. Now, I don't want to make people feel bad about this, because they are troublemaking, but they're smart as dogs.
Yeah.
These pigs are smart as dogs. We just love. They're delicious, right? That's why we don't like to think about how intelligent a pig is when we're saying, yeah, put some extra bacon on that, but So they're talking about this, and what got me was, so it's you need to so the next step, so it's a bait that's like an appealing snack. It's sodium nitrate balls with a rubbery gummy bear-like texture. I guess they're talking about,
everybody loves gummies.
But what got me is what they're apparently waiting on now is the next step before public use is approval by the EPA. Okay. And I'm thinking, dude, they got a worldwide vaccine approved in a day and a half. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
It didn't even work.
They had the forms filled out, ready to go in a day and a half. How long does it take? How long does it take to literally approve pig poison?
And if the FDA approves it, we could have 2 million pigs running around Louisiana.
Yeah, you ain't lying, right? They're gonna come back in about a month saying, "Well, come to find out they don't kill them."
Yeah, it needed a second dose.
It does. It's like, we got problem. It's like, oh man, I don't know if it's gonna be a generic or no. It's the Pfizer pig pilling pills.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have said that. We're going to be
so here I'm gonna bring it back to nice stuff. So talking about college and talking about money. So I found it at my dad's house yesterday, and I asked him about something, and he says, "Oh, go ahead. That's in the left drawer on your dresser, left drawer. Still have a dresser there. 61 years old.
Nice."
So I found a bunch of old concert tickets, and speaking of college, I found this one. I guess I don't know why, but I had a free pass to Cheap Trick and LaRue at Nichols, signed by Perry Martin, the SPA president. Yeah.
Man, I thought you were going to tell me signed by Robin Zander or
no.
Signed by.
Well, but I also found
Perry's still.
Yeah.
Why would he be signing?
I don't know.
It wasn't an autograph. It was probably just to make it official.
No, it was like a free pass or whatever. I guess he had to sign it for it to be valid. I don't know. First concert I ever went to, Kansas. August 5th, 1978.
Nice.
$7.50.
Nice. Kansas is coming to Sugarland.
But I looked the other day. Is there anybody left in Kansas that was in Kansas?
I don't know. I didn't know who was in Kansas when they were 30 years ago. If you'd have shown me pictures of them, I'd have went like, I don't know. I don't recognize them unless they got the big Kansas behind them.
Check out this one. First time I ever saw Rick Springfield. September 24th, 1982.
Was that Biloxi?
No, that was like the third time. This was at the River Center, right here.
River Center? What tour was that? What the tour? Did they have the tour on it?
No. It had to be Success Hadn't Spoiled Me Yet.
Must have been 82?
Yeah.
Nice. Prime Rick, man. Prime Rick.
The Commodores?
Nah, with Lionel?
Yes.
All right.
The Jacksons with Michael.
Get out of here. What year was that?
This was 1981. He had the Off the Wall album, but he still toured with them. $10.
$10. Dude, you can't get a beer for that. No, man.
Olivia Newton-John.
You went to some good shows, man.
I did, man.
We were all in love with Olivia. What year was that?
Dude. 82. 82 and 83 were like big concert years around here.
Man.
This both embarrassing that I went and embarrassing that Nichols, a university, put it on. An Evening with Air Supply.
Oh, I think my wife was at that one. She loved Air Supply.
Also 1982.
Yeah, no, they got people people liked Air Supply. I mean, they were big.
Yeah.
What you got now?
Barry Manilow.
Barry, bro. I've done Barry a couple times, man. Yes.
83. Van Halen. 84. Nice. Another Rick Springfield. This was the Biloxi one. Yeah, September of 84. So those are just a few of my highlights. I got like KC and the Sunshine Band.
I was with my buddy Kurt. We went to see Kenny Loggins, my son, and we talked about how that's one of the unfortunate things about now. So just another way that things supposedly are higher tech now and they suck. Nobody has ticket stubs anymore. He has in his garage. He has a frame and it's you should take those things. I hope you do, and frame them. This was because you remember when they had before they printed it with computers, it was like bubble ink or whatever, just like some type of good text on there. Man, no, love those. I didn't think. Now, the only two ticket stubs I have that I remember, and they're over here somewhere. I think I showed them one time. I have ticket stubs to the first Saints game in the Superdome.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to pull that out soon. But yeah, man, bring back ticket stubs, y'all.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, because it's now,
You know what we need,
You get them on your phone, I bet, right?
We need paper ballot voting and paper tickets to get into concerts. There you go. And how about y'all stop stealing the makeup at the Walmart? Okay. Can we just get some simple things done? That's all I'm asking for. And last thing on the way out, it was funny. I just joke. People post stuff every now and then, and sometimes you have it like you're scrolling, and usually like Facebook it's a train wreck. It's nothing you want to look at, and then just every now and then, the algorithm hit right, and there's some funny stuff. Mm-hmm. And a friend, an old friend of mine, Sid, I think it was, she posted a screen caption that I totally forgot about. And as soon as you see it, remember when they used to run this commercial? And I don't know if it was during Schoolhouse Rock or it might have been on PBS, whatever. A hanker for a hunk of cheese, right? A hanker. It was like, and it was an animated cheese thing.
What was it for?
It was for cheese. It was promoting
just
cheese.
For cheese. I got a hankering for a hunk of cheese.
When you're dancing, hold down and your boots kind of slow down, or anytime you're weak in the knees. A hanker for a chunk of a slab or a slice. Wait, a hanker for a hunk of a slab or a slice, a chunk of a treat that is a winner and yet won't spoil my dinner. A hanker for a hunk of cheese. Dude, that has been in my brain somewhere for the past, I don't know, 50.
You remember it all, man.
Isn't it weird how anything like music or something, just like the repetition?
Yeah.
It's the word hanker for a hunk of that sort of triggers it. Oh, yeah.
It's that alliteration, H&H.
Hanker for a hunk of cheese. Well, you know what I'm hankering for? Let's get on out.
I don't know.
Man. Get on out of here. The buffet is before you, y'all. There's some cheese on the buffet.
Eat up.
There's the chocolate fountain near the shrimp where it belongs. It's all out before you. We're going to push the button. Get on out of here. See if any of this stuff stuck to the magical clouds, whatever.
We could use some magical clouds about now.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Bring on the rain. Circle back like the old guys. Hey, everybody, you want to reach us? We're here. We're here. Oh, but yeah, during the week, we got one from our friend Gene. Sent some.
Yeah, I saw that. Thank you, Gene. Mocking my feet.
There you go. You know, he knows. Those your feet. But anyway, if you want to reach us, it's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com. And there's a plethora of other ways, but right here, wherever you at right now, you can probably, reverse engineer what you did.
We're wherever you are right now and wherever you'll be later on.
That sounds profound, bro.
Doesn't it?
That sounds profound. But hey, y'all, every week we look you right in the eyes. Or if you're not on video, we're screaming in your ears. It ain't a suggestion, ain't a hint.
No, not a recommendation.
No, y'all, it's a
mandate.
Mandate. It's a mandate. Get out there, go for it. Live your life to the fullest.
Make it the best one.
Make it the bestest week of your life. Okay? Make it the bestest week. Hey, you know what you did? You had a better week than Bob Barker.
Bruh.
Well, I'll say that. Who knows?
He didn't go over 100.
Bob, that's right. That was the line I read. It's like, leave it to Bob.
As close as he can without going over.
He came as close as he can to 100 without going over. But hey, you know what? Maybe he's having the best week ever.
Could be.
Bob may be up there right now, right? Spaying and neutering all the animals.
Right, with the Barker beauties.
With the Barker beauties, he's snipping dogs and cats, and he's living his best life. So rest in peace, Bob Barker, 99. It's a good run, man.
That's impressive.
It's a good run. So there you go, guys. Bob may have been watching us last week.
Bob could be watching us this week. We broadcast all the way to heaven.
This is true. And hey,
I've heard that it's required viewing in heaven. I'm not gonna say that was necessarily true.
That's in the initial sign-in process when they're signing you in. They're like, hey, Dave and Juan, right there.
Right. Well done, my good and faithful Dave and Juan viewer.
All right, before we totally blaspheme out of here. All right, everybody. You guys have a fantastic one. We hope to see you next week. And if we don't, we'll come looking for you. All right. Just like the Lafourche cops.
That's right.
They got their man. Don't make us go find you.
And if we do find you, keep your shirt on.
And don't jump in the bayou. Yeah. Don't jump in the bayou. All right. That's not a good plan. All right. Love you, bro.
Back at you, dude. So one of my dads, a guy who lived in that area, passed away this week. And so on my tour driving down the bayou yesterday, pointing out houses where people live, Daddy said, "Yep, look, that was Robert's house." The guy who passed, and he said, "Can you believe they buried him at a big old funeral at the church in Pankerville, the Catholic church?" I said, well, isn't that where he went to church and his whole family? He's a Jew. As loud and angry as could be. So, but they went to church there.
Well, what are the rules? I mean,
I don't know. I don't know.
I should. I guess if my wife gets to this part of the podcast, and hopefully she didn't turn it off before. Yeah.
So she'll know.
She'll know. And not be happy with me for not immediately knowing either.
Then we passed apparently a Jewish cemetery in Donaldsonville where he
pointed out that's
where he should have been buried.
As long as he's watching Dave and Juan up in the sky, bro.
There you go. Right. Yeah. This week in heaven.
It's over. Go home.